those just now joining us, you missed an excellent goal from Johnny Schlegel. Had a little bit of technical difficulties, but we seem to be back live.
Apologies for that, folks. Alongside Steve Taylor, my name's Andy Diedrich. Welcome into Sports Broadcast Solutions and our presentation of the CSDHL playoffs. We'll skip all the fanfare for now. We'll get you updated on these two teams and what's at stake here. It's the Indy Junior Fool against the Crystal Lake Yellowjackets. Thanks for being with us again. Once again, apologies. 6 out of the 8 games of the day of the octet of games that we're streaming. We appreciate your patience. Hey, let's have some fun. A whole lot of hockey still remaining. The Yellowjackets possessing the puck. Now getting it past the blue line. Up ahead with it is Wiesman. One of the heroes of the earlier game. Sajak with a shot, but it's a quick glove save from Nolan Dede. And again, for those now just joining us on the live stream, the winner of this game will face off against the winner of the previous game. The Afton Americans handling Peoria with a 4-goal third period to down them 6-2. And a lot of the members of that Afton team await to see the winner of this one, who will be their foe tomorrow in the Bantam Red Tier 1 Championship at 10:20 a.m. right where we're standing here in Pleasant Prairie at the Green Rink in the Recplex. Hopefully that caught you up to speed. We have a quick game in front of us. We'll keep going with it. Under 7 minutes to go. Falling skater goes into the net of Emily Whalen, and we're going to stop play there. 6:43 on the board.
Refs' arms stay firmly at their side, which is really important. As they tumbled into the netting there, it looked like it was going to be a lot worse than it ended up being. Hopefully Emily Whalen's okay. Looks like it might just be an equipment issue, but a little bit of a trip and couldn't quite connect. But when the net comes loose like that, they'll call the play dead. Goals so far, we got Reed Williams on a redirect from Owen Trivellini. And then just an absolute ripper from Johnny Schlegel. Those are the 2 goals so far, 1 apiece.
1-1 is where we stand. These two teams coming in with impressive playoff wins on their resume. They were 2nd and 3rd in the regular season. The Yellowjackets finishing ahead in the tiebreaker, having the number 2 seed, but those seedings don't matter. It's playoff time, and the result is all that matters. Don't need me to tell you that, though. These young men and women out here are competing like it's all they know. The sport of hockey is a beautiful thing. The Yellowjackets off and running. Trivellini was the catalyst for the first goal. He'll send it in and skate off the ice real quickly.
Logan carrying the puck up, the Wolverine himself, looking to see if he can rip one towards home.
Had some penalties early to start. Back at even strength now. And the Yellowjackets playing their first game of the day all the way back at 8 in the morning. Shot goes wide. Good looking fling towards the net by Barwig, however. Yellowjackets with that exciting 5-4 overtime victory over the Falcons way back when Steve, I, and the crew were still drinking their coffee. The speed of Groove gets in there, but a save from Whalen. Flashing the leather once again. That seems to be your specialty.
Emily Whalen, just a phenomenal goaltender. Great day thus far, and she's looking to capitalize here. We can already cancel the shutout interview, but that's not to say anything negative about Emily Whalen and the performance she's put on. Go back and watch the other stream after this one, of course. Go back and watch the stream against the Falcons, putting on an absolute clinic. It was a 5-4 win. All 4 that she let in, look at them and tell me you could pick a better shot, but you should see the ones she didn't let in.
Warren retreated to grab it, then up to Groove, but now that's just dumped in all the way in deep. Still in if they want it. Groove will skate off. Now we have 5 new skaters on the ice for the Fuel. Retreating to grab that in neutral ice is Boone. They'll turn around one more time. Patience shown from the Fuel early. Schlegel in, nice set of moves. Dropped off to Thornberry. And a hard hit delivered into the boards on the near side. Hard to see from our angle, but you probably heard it on the broadcast. I know we did.
Could hear that one from all the way back in Indy. Which brings me to the point with these two teams. Now, the Yellowjackets this morning played the Falcons. Now, that's something of a rivalry match. Those two teams saw a lot of one another during the regular season, and they are not fans of one another. It's a real close drive. Crystal Lake is not that far from Lake Forest and Highland Park, and where the Falcons play most of their home games. really they saw enough of each other, and it was on the ice, it was off the ice. They did not get along. Now these two teams, the Yellowjackets and Indy Fuel, they only played each other twice during the regular season, and both of those games went to the Yellowjackets, a 2-0 win and a 6-4 win back in November. Now, this is because you have the Indy Fuel, the Indy Junior Fuel out of Indianapolis. It is a drive. This is travel hockey, and they put the travel in travel hockey.
These two teams, of course, playing in the best Tier 2 league in the country in the CSDHL. But when you give these two teams full of talent a chance at a man advantage like we're going to get here, Casey Wiesman visiting the box for the Yellowjackets. Another Indy Fuel power play may spell doom early for the Yellowjackets, who jumped out to that early lead. 4:03 left in the first 2 minutes of it, spent with a man disadvantage. Indy Fuel's the one on the power play. Backhand move. We've seen the Yellowjackets get pretty aggressive on these short-handed opportunities. They're not stopping now. Connor Barwig shoots a little, almost like a moonshot, easily gloved by Nolan Dede.
Talked about it earlier today, those change-up shots. You just got to be able to follow them. Now, they pick goalies. Sometimes it's, at the younger levels, they pick goalies because it's like they do a rotating bit. Everybody has to put on all the pads, but not at this level. At this level, you pick the people with the best vision. It's not just about size and stature. It's about being able to see through the screens and look and try and find the puck in some of those long shots. And being able to find it on like a change-up shot like you just saw from, I believe it was Zajac. That's why Dede's finding himself in net.
Bench wanted an offsides call, did not get one, but that puck's going to bounce out. Off and running are the Yellowjackets. They've killed one half the power play. Can they get a puck in the net? Zajac, great save by Dede. Still in, though. Trivellini, follow-up shot goes wide after the redirect.
Michael Zajac, oh my goodness. You couldn't have asked for a better shot. More praise to Nolan Dede.
This is a great penalty kill shift from these Yellowjackets. Not only trying to get the puck out of their own zone, but really pushing it, making the Fuel defend. The Fuel now getting back on the offensive, less than a half minute to go on their man advantage.
Sometimes the best defense is a good offense.
Groob send it in, redirect, slowly trickled out, but saved by Whalen. Whalen had it, lost it, and then we'll put our paws on it. Looks like another successful PK if they can weather the storm for another 17 seconds or so.
It's just going to be singing the praises of both of these goaltenders. Dede, Whalen, that's the matchup. It's not just Indy and the Yellowjackets.
Seems like that's the game the Yellowjackets want to play. They've seen what the Indy Junior Fuel have done to dismantle their other two foes here in the playoffs. If they can get this to more of a chess match, a rock fight, whatever cliche you want to throw at it, where it's tender on tender, they like their chances. Power play is over. Successful PK for the Yellowjackets. Back out to Boone near the point. Fires that one wide. Wiesman coming on out of the box hard.
That would be Wiesman's second penalty on the night.
He's tied up around the net. Puck still in there in the crease, still loose in the slot. Far side post, no call despite going down hard was number 19, Harrison Welsh. We're gonna play on, just look like some hard, good, clean hockey contact. Stick is down, quickly picked up. Wiesman grabs it, skating off for the Yellowjackets. Park receivers, skating on is Jaden Leone. Another hard hit near side, about 1:15 remaining in the opening frame. Leon pursues on the forecheck, but it's slapped out of there and heading the other direction. Landrigan now having to retreat back, getting to his feet. Mkow. Mkow plays catch with a teammate. Up ahead, 3-on-2. Will Indy push it? Looks like they will. Schlegel to the center. Backhand, block in the middle, up and over the goal anyways.
Schlegel's had some good opportunities, and we got a delayed call. Looks like the Fuel are going to find themselves on another power play.
Seeing who the offending party here is here. That's exactly what's going to happen. Heading into the sin bin, his first stint of the night, Carter Tomaszewski, number 68. Haven't called his name a lot, but I think that's just because he shores up that defensive back for this Yellow Jackets team that's done a great job when it comes to defense in this one.
I was singing the praises of Owen Trivellini, who seems to be on the offensive defenseman sort of thing. That's only because he scored the goal in the early match, in the morning match. But Tomaszewski, he's been performing really well on the blue line. You got to keep an eye out and look, another wraparound chance, and Whalen able to say no.
Whalen knocking down the wraparound chance. A couple chances. Not only that, I think Whitlock had a good chance in the slot. Once again, Wiesman and the rest of the crew, Sajak up there on this forecheck, despite them being shorthanded. 10 seconds remaining in the first frame. Whitlock, nice set of moves, falls to his feet, wanted to get it. That's going to be the last effort for the Fuel and also for the Yellow Jackets. No shot off of there, so Yellow Jackets weather the storm. A couple penalties, one successful penalty kill. They're going to have another 75 seconds with a man down. Another exciting game, Steve. Are we shocked?
Not even a little bit. That's what CSDHL hockey is all about. It is just the matchups. We talked about the parity, and it's going to come in to be another factor for yet another matchup tonight.
One period down, at least 2 to go. The way things are going, who knows? We're going to take a break here at the Recplex. Stick with us here on SBS.
Home. It's full of the people and moments that matter most. Providing for loved ones, expanding your horizons, or simply living the life you love. With all you have to protect, choose insurance you can count on, so you can experience more of what you live for. Country Financial. Experience more.
Back here in Pleasant Prairie at the Recplex's Green Rink. The second period about to start, 14 more minutes underway. 1-1, all knotted up between the Yellow Jackets and the Indy Junior Fuel. Winner going to the title game tomorrow on Championship Sunday for Bantam Red Tier 1. We talked about this earlier. The Yellow Jackets having to start the period on the penalty kill. Some coaches like having to do that, some hate it. Really no middle ground for that. Either way, it still stands, giving the puck on a power play into the hands of the Indy Junior Fuel, who have combined for over a dozen goals in their first 2 playoff appearances.
Another net front battle, this time between Cannon Koopman for the Indy Fuel and Kane Friend for the Yellow Jackets. Keep an eye on that net front. It's going to be the difference maker in the power play. It already showed for the first goal, albeit for the Yellow Jackets on that one.
1-1 still the score. 20 more seconds on the penalty kill. The hand is up from the referee. It's going to be a delayed call. I didn't see what happened. Our view's kind of instructed in that near corner. But by the way the Yellow Jackets are pushing this, it looks like it's going to go against the Fuel.
I won't keep you in suspense any longer. It looks like Cowell with a cross check. So we'll have 4-on-4 for exactly 11 seconds and not a second more before the Indy Fuel find themselves on a kill.
Essentially not a full 2-minute power play, given those 11 seconds of 4-on-4, but a gift right back to the Yellow Jackets, who are searching, hoping to not get 2 unanswered let up on them to relinquish this lead they got out to so early.
And they're already setting it up. Wiesman's out there. Trivellini's out there. They've got their top line. They're ready for the power play to start here in about 10 seconds.
Trivellini's going to backtrack with it. I think just waiting for that extra skater to get on the ice. Has to be careful here, though. Charging up on the Fuel. Great defense, easily gloved by Whalen. And perfectly, that's going to do it for the 4-on-4. So a $1.49 coming up on the power play.
Now, the Indy Fuel had a 5-0 win against the Northwest Chargers to close out the season. That last game, they had two such games on the 24th and 25th. On specifically the 25th, it was a very chippy game. 2 power play goals for the Fuel on 9 penalties that Northwestern had. It's a tough time, and you're really going to have trouble breaking through if you're the Northwest Chargers in that case when you're finding yourself on the kill.
On the far side, still 80 seconds remaining in the power play. Showing some patience are the Yellowjackets once again. This is how they made their money in this morning's matchup against the Falcons. Saved coming out off of the blocker of Didi. Still in there in the slot near the crease, but thrown out of there by Bezoyjan. One-timer from the blue line goes wide, bounces back out to Sajak. We'll wrap it around back over to Wiesman, the captain. He wanted to spin Arama with it, but the defensive pressure from Carson Hayes, got to give credit there. Short-handed chance at the other end for Wilson. He's got a shot. Whalen saves and dives on it and done in the nick of time.
Emily Whalen, have yourself a day. I don't know when your birthday is, but it's starting to look like it's February 7th.
Certainly, though, with the pressure the Fuel are putting on, she's going to need to have a lot more saves than that if this score wants to look the way it is.
Harrison Welch, a great opportunity, shorthanded. Emily Whalen just says no.
Neutral zone skating. This time it's the Fuel looking strong on the shorthanded looks they're giving to the Yellowjackets. $11:15 remaining, 20 on the PK.
Grube, a smart jump of the pass.
Trivellini playing catch with teammates. Now Wiesman at neutral ice. They're going to have one more chance with a man advantage. Skating in off the wide side. Sajak, nice set of moves, but the double team's going to get to him. And that will do it for the power play. Successful PK for the Indy Junior Fuel. One more save from Didi. Wanted to get a wraparound. Bodies flying all over the place near the crease. Fans love it. Teams love it. Puck's loose. Pounced on by Didi. Clock stops, 10:42.
Oh, man, what a break to get. Didi just locked in. But the Indy Fuel getting a much-needed change with that stoppage in play.
That was a long shift, that clock. Granted, they were down here in the other end pushing the shorthanded. The thing is, how much can you really push when you're shorthanded, knowing that you can't get a change coming back on the other end?
That's always the tough part, especially in the second period, is because when you're able to put that kind of pressure on the other end of the ice, especially during a penalty kill, it sets you up for success. It puts you in a position to play the game from ahead, even as it's tied here at 1-1. But it does exhaust you, and you can find yourself unwittingly defending your own net and just stuck in there for minutes, 2-minute, 3-minute shifts, especially in the period of the long change.
Trivellini, Williams, as well as Sievers all were on that left side. Bit of a breakout chance. Near side, Hayes is first to it. But Trivellini and the Yellow Jacket defense all over the middle, just protecting that central barn between the face-off circles. Trivellini shoots, goes wide, just out of the reach of the glove for Didi. Nolan Didi's having a pretty good game alongside Emily Whalen. We keep talking about Whalen. Didi hasn't had to work as hard, but still, great saves nonetheless.
Not quite standing on his head, but absolutely phenomenal performance.
Still loose over by the face-off circle. Who wants it? Now kept in. Deflects off the wrist.
Sorry to interrupt. Keep an eye out for 5'5". That's Trent Boone. Big guy, and he's not afraid to use the body.
Got to know where the enforcers are on the ice at all times, even if you're not a guy that gets into the thick of it. But having to get back is Trivellini. Now look at the speed of Angelo Landry needing to get back there. Him and Trivellini going at it behind the net. Good old-fashioned hockey. We talk about that old-school stuff, Steve. There it is.
Oh, it's a physical game, and you're seeing the physicality.
Someone's equipment's down at the blue line over there. No matter that now, because we're off and running on the other side. Dumping it in. The line will stay in. Another hard hit. It's Trivellini again. This time he's tangled up over there. I think Harrison Welsh, and indeed it is.
That might be a battle to watch, is Trivellini versus Welsh, because Welsh is placing himself right there in the crease. That's a normal position, and especially for a player like that, he's going to want to win those net front battles, but Trivellini not giving an inch. It's going to be a back and forth. Keep an eye on that matchup.
Thornberry had a far side. Now it's over to Warren. He's trying to get it off the boards, but it's flicked way up, and I'm not sure how that puck got all the way over there. It's Harrison Welsh. Gets it to Warren. Forecheck pressure delivered by number 11, Jaden Leon. Trivellini wanted off the board to himself. Welsh goes right by him. Schlegel wanted Welsh. Still couldn't get it. Now we get the back and forth. Bit of a tennis match. Nice set of moves. The Yellowjackets got to hurry. Getting that new line in on the defense, and that pass wasn't perfect. It needed to be, but the defense holds firm for now. Weird angle. Whalen saves. And we're already back on the other end. Past the blue line go the Yellowjackets. Sajak stops, starts, good block. Wasn't gloved, and it's going to wrap around with less than 8 minutes to go in the second. Tomaszewski in deep. Middle, no one's home. Flips it over. Swing and a miss, but getting to it is Rooney Gallivan. Carter Tomaszewski, the safety blanket. That would have been a 2-on-none if he didn't have the foresight to get back in the nick of time.
That's always a tough one. You don't want to find yourself behind the play, but if you can get an extra step on the defender, I mean, that could have resulted in a goal.
And it is Tomaszewski skating back first on defense. Could be a 3-on-2 here. They got tied up on the far side, though. Whalen's going to stick that one away. Wrap around to no one. Grube comes out. And back on for the Fuel is Will Emkow, alongside his teammates in Hayes.
Noticing the Yellowjackets pulling a 2-2-1 defense, their center is floating around trying to pick up where there's some needed extra pressure. But other than that, 2 defensemen low, 2 wingers high.
Always is interesting, especially at this level. I think you get a wildly different, vast variety of different systems, zones, whatever you want to call it, defenses, looks, philosophies that these coaches give, because they come from all over the board, especially to play in a Tier 2 league such as this. Dangerous situation that you can't even talk about anything that's not about the game. These two teams are going right at it, so let's stick with it. Reed Williams, left side, shot goes wide, maybe off the back of the stick of DD.
Just a little outside Reed Williams on that shot.
Sure, we'll get back to our conversation about the defense at some point, but got to stick with the action here. Halfway through this one, still 1-1. Both those goals coming in the first. Something tells me the momentum's really going to swing, and whoever can net one next. I know. Thank you, Captain Obvious, Andy. Something's got to give. The pressure on both sides.
It's written in the hockey rule book. Next goal's a biggie.
Action on the near side. I mean, again, it's easy to forget that these young men and women out there on the ice are only 13, 14 years old, maybe 15 at the most. Not sure how the rules work. But the speed, the athleticism.
Grube almost dancing all the way in.
There's a chance the Yellowjackets caught napping on defense. And Whalen's going to wisely save that one. I think the Fuel maybe wanted to set a little bit up more. Looks at their bench. Things didn't go as planned, to say the least.
Nick Warren tried to take it himself, and that's something that'll come with time. You get excited or you don't realize what you have. It's one of those two things. You either get excited because you think that you might have a real breakaway and you just don't really have time to think about exactly what to do with it, or you don't realize that you have 4 guys to their 2. That mismatch was a huge chance, but Emily Whalen continues to say no.
Keaton Grube had that shot there. Whalen put her stick up to make sure it went over. Trouble getting it out for the Yellowjackets. It funnels its way back into the faceoff circle, but now it's out up ahead to Sajak. He'll center it himself. Tomaszewski coming up the left side. Nice move. Sajak getting to his right. He's got a chance at the goal. Back to the middle, but no one was home.
Sajak, right idea, $1 million move, just no finish, but it's not really on him. Just no teammates in the zone.
Still good opportunities they want to build off of as we are under 5 minutes remaining in the second frame. Cowell, man on his left, shot at the goal, off the post, are you kidding? Some grabbing near the net over there. Play will stop. How did that puck not find the back?
Logan Cowell, oh my goodness, a back and forth. Logan just couldn't quite find the back of the net. It goes off the right side of the goal. I've seen a couple of those in my time, and they will always keep you up at night.
Heard some of the Indy Junior Fuel fans kind of stand up and celebrate before that puck was looking like it was going in. Hard to blame them, though, when the net had that much daylight in front of it.
You heard it bounce off the pipe. You thought it was the one in the back, not the one on the side.
And score remains knotted at 1. Both those goals coming early in the first. Nothing since then. One-timer from Boone goes wide. Emily Whalen's been the goaltender that's been tested more, but her counterpart, Nolan Dede, holding up just the same. 1 goal apiece. Only allowing 1 goal usually will win you a hockey game, but right now a tie is just simply not going to do it for the Yellowjackets. They need to win this one if they want to move on and play the Afton Americans tomorrow in the title game. Slow-moving puck going past the point outside the blue line. Rooney Gallivan sent it in, and looks like he'll stay in for a little bit. Gallivan's out there, his fellow defenseman Trivellini. Puck in front of the net, near side, almost hit the post. Looks like it hit the side, if anything. Referee made the right call, said no goal. Will trickle all the way back down. Was it touched? It appears it was. The arm goes up. Play stops. 3:46 on the scoreboard.
It's always a mixed bag at this level as far as whether or not the icing is going to get waved off. The littlest tip, and then it's waved off. But sometimes it's not about winning the race. It's just about whether it's dumped in deep or not.
Vying for position with that puck. Advantage goes to the Fuel. Up ahead, Harrison Welsh, his counterpart in Trivellini. They've been going at it all evening, like you said, Steve. Down in, Wiesman behind the net. Flip it back around to Barwig.
Pushing it ahead to Zajac, but not quite through. It's Bezosian.
Still looked like a pretty good outlet pass, however. A little more juice on it. It was a 1-on-0 chance for Michael Sajak.
Talking about hockey names, Wells Bosian, or Bezosian, Bezoe.
I will never get tired of the hockey names. We've seen probably 24 today. And honestly, we might see even more tomorrow with the Red 3 Championship as well. Looking forward to it.
Yellow Jacket uniforms. We talked earlier this morning about how sharp the uniforms are. Stylized, Yellow Jackets for sure, but stylized like the Pittsburgh Penguins.
Not a huge Penguins fan, but I got to admit, those boys do look dapper out on that rink. You can say that for both of the teams taking the ice tonight. 2.5 minutes remaining in the second period. Will we get another goal in? And kind of what we call the witching hour here, right before the second to last intermission. Icing is the call. Yeah, this is where the lull of the game, there's the highs and lows. This is usually a low for both teams. So netting a goal here right when neither team is really having a lot of their legs under them, a lot more fatigue, if anything, could be huge.
It's always the goals in the first minute and the last minute that can really make a difference in a game, because it's either inflating you as soon as you start a period or deflating you as you go into the intermission. Last game, we saw it, the Afton Americans lifted by 3 goals in a minute and a half to start off the third period.
There is not a moment in the 3 periods and then maybe in overtime where you can lose focus, especially not 2 teams of this caliber. Sneaking it out of there, one-on-one chance if he hurries up. Landrigan to his left. He's defended well on that far side by number 82, Luke Abernathy.
Good defense, enough to disrupt, but not to draw the penalty.
Abernathy wants to wrap around to Reed Williams, but he'll still chase it. Him and Reed wanting to poke it out of there. Now it's off and running for Indy Junior Fuel. Logan starts near the center line. Funnels it in. Tomaszewski there, delivered a hard hit to from number 2, Keaton Grube. Couple more chances in this period. Wraparound chance, corralled by Whalen. How many times are we going to say that before we sound like broken records?
Emily Whalen, Emily Whalen, Emily Whalen. Oh my goodness. I'll sound like a broken record. I don't care. I'll sing her praises all day because she's had a lot to sing about. Carter Tomaszewski found himself in the corner. A little bit of a weird hit. All numbers from what I saw back here, but Tomaszewski, smart player, knew that the hit was coming, braced himself. No one's hurt, no penalty.
Back off and running immediately after the face-off. Indy keeping it in. And that puck's going to go up and almost hit somebody on the Indy bench, and we're going to stoppage and play. 70 seconds remaining in the second period. Just want to hold serve at least going into that final 14 minutes where one goal is all it's going to take to propel you to the title game.
Next goal is going to be a biggie, especially as we get down into the third period.
I know it sounds like we're stating the obvious, but got to admit, both teams are certainly thinking we need that next goal because that's what's going to give us the victory.
I mean, we're currently scoreless in the second period. It shows how much these teams have given exactly 1 inch and nothing more.
Looks like Sajak fed it in and maybe grabbing it a little too soon. Connor Barwig offside. We're going to get a face-off right in front of us here in neutral ice. Back on for the fuel. Keaton Grube re-enters alongside Johnny Schlegel, as well as Cody Thornberry. Trivellini flips the rink.
Thornberry, a good stick lift, just a little too late. Grube looking for the hit from Weisman.
Barwig retreats, sends a backhander in. Actually, it turns out to be a great pass to Weisman. Fired it across, but no one was quite there in the crease ready for it. Sent back out under half a minute remaining. Maybe one more chance for each team, depending on this possession for the Jackets. Flipped around
for Welch.
Yellowjackets keeping forecheck pressure. Maybe just one last gas before the intermission. Here we go for Barwig. He'll shoot and score!
Connor Barwig, find your corner, pick it, take it. Oh my goodness. Right below the stick side, right below the blocker on Didi. That's just a well-placed shot. Many kudos to you, young man. That's some good vision.
The goal was to hold serve, but the Yellowjackets just hit an ace, if anything. Connor Barwig, great time for his first goal of the day as the waning seconds tick off and the buzzer sounds in the second period. A stalemate for about 13 and a half minutes of that one, and then Connor Barwig and the Yellowjackets finding themselves up a goal heading into the final 14 minutes. I guess the focus turns back to the Indy Fuel. How can they respond, Steve?
The Indy Fuel just needs to get their head back in the game. Shake off that last goal, get your head right, and play good defense. But you really have been, so just stick to the game plan. Nothing's really changed. Just don't give Connor Barwig some of that open space that he ended up with there, and you'll be fine. You've already gotten some great opportunities on the other end. You just need to solve Emily Whalen. That's a tough and a tall ask. That's a tough option there, but you're going to be able to break through. Just got to find those top corners. 14
more minutes of playoff hockey heading your way here on SBS right after this.
Home is more than a place. It's full of the people and moments that matter most. Providing for loved ones, expanding your horizons, or simply living the life you love. With all you have to protect, choose insurance you can count on so you can experience more of what you live for. Country Financial. Experience more.
As John Rothstein, the college basketball analysis, always says, grab your nitroglycerin pills, because this one seems like it's going to come down to it. 2-1 in favor of the Yellow Jackets. A late goal in that second period has them in pole position. And if this result holds, they will head to play in that Bantam Red Tier 1 title game tomorrow morning, right where we stand in Pleasant Prairie. As for the Indy Fuel, maybe the odds-on favorite coming into this game with how they dismantled their two previous playoff foes. But right now, their backs are against the wall, probably for the first time in a couple weeks.
Indy Fuel, great team, had a great season, finding themselves in a great test. That's what they're facing in the next 13 minutes and 20 seconds. They're looking to see if they can shift the storyline here, get back in control of this game. And so far, they've already put Emily Whalen 2 shots, put some pressure on Emily Whalen. Keep that pressure up, and you might find yourself in the championship game tomorrow.
It's going to be a lot to weather, though, as that desperation mounts. This is kind of the flip side of what we saw before, where this time the team in the lead is the team that needs the win. If this team were to tie, of course, the Fuel would get the victory. So I think that maybe add some extra fuel to the fire. We don't necessarily need 2 right now. We get 1, and we can still come out with this thing, even if we can't land a goal after that.
We've had a lot of bonus hockey already today. What's another one? Let's do it.
We're so behind schedule. Hey, that just means we get to watch more hockey. What's wrong with that? I don't need to sleep. What's sleep? Have you slept? I don't know what that is.
I've never met her.
Clock stops, 12:46 remaining in regulation. How did we get here? 2 goals in the first. First, that was led off. A redirect from the Fuel, I believe. Netting that one. Actually,
it was Reed Williams on that.
Reed Williams did have that in the redirect for the Yellow Jackets. That's correct. We saw Connor Barwick put that one away late in the second. The Fuel goal, I actually had it written down. I believe it's Johnny Schlegel, number 77. Is that correct?
You're exactly correct.
That's
Johnny
it.
Schlegel just rips it, opposite corner. Just winds up a wrist shot that just clears Emily Whalen's right ear.
That was an impressive piece of puck hitting from Schlegel. Seen a lot more shots that have looked certainly good. We, once again, will touch on the whole, you want quantity of shots. Nice redirect. That was impressive. Unbelievable how that didn't go for Cody Thornberry up there near the net. Or excuse me, that was number 59, Angelo Landrigan, with that redirect. But quantity of shots is so important at this level. But I'm really stunned at the quality of shots that we're seeing that just haven't gone in.
And that's just a testament to the defense and the goaltending. The Yellow Jackets have really locked it down here. They're not giving up anything. They're playing with whatever they can get, and it's turning out that they're ahead. They're in a good position right now, but the Indy Fuel is not taking their foot off the gas. The pun may be intended. The Indy 500 looking to score 500 more.
There's got to be a way that's physically possible in the sport of hockey to score 500.
There is someone who did the math on this one about if you just ripped a slap shot, the fastest slap shot from center ice, and did that nonstop for 60 minutes, what the highest score could possibly be.
And you just had like a literal chair. That's not even like a metaphor thing, just an actual like rocking chair in net, and they just kept going by, right?
Yep. I don't remember the actual number that they gave for that, but none of these teams are willing to put a rocking chair in the net, that's for sure.
The 2 academic voices you hear gracing your airwaves right now. I'm Andy Diedrich. Steve Taylor is the one providing the mathematics here. The math is simple here. 2-1 in favor of the Yellow Jackets. A low-scoring affair is much different from what we've seen from both of these squads in the playoffs.
They've both had a lot of ability to score goals, especially the Indy Fuel. They closed out their regular season with a 5-0 shutout. They started off their playoffs against the Falcons, ended up winning that game, and a big showing against St. Pete earlier today here at Pleasant Prairie. And Barwig, bar up this time. A ding heard around the world. They can hear that back in Crystal Lake.
I was about to say, that is one of the loudest dings off the bar I've ever heard, and probably the loudest subsequent crowd groan after that, but well-deserved, truly. Connor Barwig wanted goal number 2 and nearly had it. The Yellow Jackets, another team that loves getting quick action off the faceoffs. Might not necessarily need it, though, especially led by their brick wall in net, Emily Whalen. She might get tested here. Schlegel's coming on quickly, but Trivellini's nice set moves to get around him. to the corner, now gotten out past the blue line up to center. Neutralized with Barwig. Wiesman got the shot off, but it's saved and brought back out by Nolan Dede.
Not just a good save by Dede, but a smart save. He knew that Barwig was right in front of him. He made sure that the rebound came away from Barwig.
What a pass inside. Barwig scores again!
The Indy Fuel can drive fast, but you can't stop a train, and that's exactly what Connor Barwig is doing today, his second of the night.
I want to say the real MVP of that, Barwig with a great chance in front, but what a pass on the inside. Don't know how he snuck it in there. Casey Wiesman, the captain, showing why he wears that patch.
What an incredible pass. I mean, when you have a shooter like Connor Barwig, you let him shoot and you tee him up the best of your ability, and that's exactly what Wiesman was doing.
My goodness, the angles at some of these passes, some of these shots are going in as we sit here 3-1 advantage Yellowjackets. You don't expect for these players to even see those angles at this level, let alone convert on them.
Absolutely. And it's interesting to have a goal like that. They were in control of possession. The Yellowjackets were there on that end of the ice, but only for a handful of minutes, no more than a minute and a half, earnestly. Indy's been in control of this contest, especially in the third period. Time of possession is well in favor of the Fuel.
One more save for Emily Whalen to add to her already impressive repertoire today. Icing is the call. Heading back the other direction, 9:43 left, but a 2-goal lead for the Yellowjackets coming all the way from Crystal Lake. Wiesman versus Logan in the face-off circle, far side. Wiesman wins it, hits it wisely to his teammate Tomaszewski. Bouncing puck gets in the neutral zone. Up there, he's been quiet on the offensive side, but Michael Sajak's a big reason why the Yellowjackets find themselves less than 10 minutes away from making the title game in the first place.
They've had an incredible showing, and Sajak's been no little part of that. Great opportunity, just no one home for the Fuel.
Miles Whitlock got the play started and how they netted a goal on Whalen to start this one. That rebound chance from Johnny Schlegel was the one that put their one lone goal on the board. Whitlock got some action inside, but no one was there to collect in the middle of the slot.
Those rebounds, you got to collect them if you can, but that's where it can come back to puck luck. It can bounce a couple inches away from your stick, and you're just not able to bury it.
Trivellini collects after the face-off. Off the boards, bounce it in. I think that's 3 lines. The referees agree. Icing is the call.
Trivellini making a smart play there. I think at this level you can still change during an icing, but just anything to get it out of the zone. Stay in control. You got 9 minutes left. You got 2-goal lead. Try and hold that 2-goal lead. That's your biggest thing right there.
The Yellowjackets are no stranger to keeping the aggression up even with a multi-goal lead. They were spending a lot of time even short-handed when they had a multi-goal lead in their own zone trying to score themselves, or at least trying to waste time off the clock. See if they do something similar here as we continue seeing time come off the scoreboard here at the Recplex.
Welsh and Friend, a collision in the
Schlegel,
corner.
that went everything but into the back of the net. My goodness, I think that hit 3 different defenders. Schlegel again seeming to be the dominant offensive force for this team, but a great stick and defense from Trivellini and a hard hit delivered back into him. Puck flies up and out.
If you need leadership, you look to the captain, who's headed to the bench right now just for a line change. We'll see more of him as the time goes on. We'll try and keep an eye on Schlegel, because we may see him out for a couple more shifts than he's used to.
That's a good point. That coaching staff may call on him for quite a long shift once we get to the end. If it's still a multi-goal deficit, he might be in there for the last 2.5 minutes when they have to pull the goalie.
This is where keeping short shifts is going to be a part of the difference, but it's short shifts followed by more short shifts. 45 seconds on, 30 seconds off before you're right back out there, especially if you're a guy that they're looking to for their scoring and the only guy who's broken through in Schlegel.
Cowell and Whitlock re-enter. They are joined by Wells Bazoyan. Saved by Whalen. Puck still sliding out, though. And it's going to be cleared. I think that's another icing that they are more than okay with, given how quickly that was to come in a dangerous path in the crease.
And another credit, a silent performer. It's Carter Tomaszewski. He tied up the Indy Fuel player and prevented a shot.
Tomaszewski standing there behind the referee outside that faceoff circle on the far side. That is a tall fella for being 14 years of age.
Holding down the left defense and really performing outside of his weight class, which seems to be a big one.
Certainly doesn't have the body type of a horse jockey. I think he's in the right sport. Sajak fed it in. Barwig was trailing him. Barwig maybe looking for the Hattie. I think the W is more important to him at this point. Fuel don't want either of those things to happen. Quickly the other way, getting past Barwig. Bazoyan to the center. Cowell shoots. Rebound. Goes wide. I think Whalen maybe got a little bit of that blocker on it.
Right through the blue paint. Whalen's lucky that there was no one there to put it home. And she'll just get a rest. She'll cover that one. Carter Tomaszewski, I can sing his praises all day. Another mention of the USA men's hockey team, Jacob Slavin. Greatest defensive defenseman. Huge Caniac.
Nothing wrong with drawing comparisons to some of the heroes I think a lot of us and the young athletes out on the ice probably grew up watching, idolizing, wanting to be like one day.
You do have to ask yourself a little bit, or I choose to ask myself, whether they have their favorite players' numbers, and that's the number they choose to sport.
Is that what you did, Steve?
Stan Mikita, number 21.
I have an embarrassing admission at my number, but let's not talk about that right now because you will laugh about it. So we're going to wait till we get a break in the action. Bouncing puck, now rolling to this near side. Up and out. That puck goes out of play. So a little story about me, not to make this about me, it's about the young athletes, but really quickly here. We really are going to make this about me. Hi, folks. Andy Diedrich here alongside Steve Taylor. When I was younger, I grew up in Cleveland, Ohio, and the player that I was really into as a young Cleveland Browns fan was a guy by the name of Brady Quinn. And I thought he was going to be the next big thing. He was so good at Notre Dame. Oh, this guy should have won the Heisman the one year. So ever since my second grade basketball, when I got to pick my number, I told my dad, I want to be number 10 like Brady Quinn, and I have never changed it since.
Well, I can't fault you there. I remember watching Brady Quinn in college, when he was in college, mind you, not when I was in college. But a phenomenal quarterback in college. And if I had to rate your choice, I'd rate it Brady Quinn. I'd rate it 10 out of 10.
It's all about having fun here. Saturday nights in Sports Broadcast Solutions, folks. Great game in our hands. Rebound opportunity. Whalen makes 2 saves, and we'll cover that one up, much to an uproarious applause from her Yellowjacket faithful.
Emily Whalen is super thrilled to spend the third period on that end of the ice. The fans are going crazy for her, and just silence to my right. The Indy Fuel frustrated by a dominant performance. Emily Whalen, have yourself a day.
You run out of adjectives to say when the goaltenders are pitching these good of near shutouts. Whalen with another save. Rebound chances collapsed down by the defense out to Sajak. And they're out past the blue line. Connor Barwick, they're letting him get out in front. Not necessarily for that hat trick, but the way he's been shooting, why not?
Definitely want to give him the opportunity, and now as we get down below 6 minutes, we're going to start keeping an eye on Didi, see when he might be pulled. We talked about it earlier, and it resulted in an empty net goal in an earlier game, but you want to have full possession and control of the puck in the offensive zone. You can't give up an easy shot, but it's a good opportunity, and down 2 goals with the season on the line, you might be looking a little earlier. You might be looking at pulling at maybe 4 minutes, 3 minutes. Not quite at the 2 minutes as is tradition in the NHL.
It's a good point. Why not be aggressive right now when there is no tomorrow, unless you can overcome this 2-goal deficit and pull it out at some point? Group kept in, hard slapper. That was a nice looking shot from William Cowell. Haven't called his name much, but he's another big guy that's getting in there and shredding. Trevelini got it out, almost hit his bench. Just some more time ticking off the clock, making the Fuel reset.
Cowell not afraid to lower their shoulder, get into the physical aspect of the game.
Whitlock fires. Getting in the way is Rudy Gallivan. Go ahead, Steve. I know what you're going to say. Just get it over with.
A little bit of a late shot, but Emily Whalen. Oh, my God.
That's exactly what I thought you were going to say. Was talk about the tremendous Yellowjackets goaltender, not just in this game, but to open this thing up. Without that performance in that Falcons game, that overtime victory, they're not even in this. Maybe they're not even as motivated to go on and move on to the title. And right now, they're for sure the favorite to pull this one out and be playing the African Americans tomorrow at 10:20 for the title.
And it's interesting that we can call it that. It's first game of the day. It seems like it was a wake-up call, as the Falcons gave the Yellowjackets a run for their money. And Emily Whalen was locked in. But now, I mean, if you thought she was locked in this morning, welcome to the nightcap.
We're actually going to see those Falcons in play for our nightcap. Speaking of, well done, Steve. They're going to take on St. Peter's in our last game of the night at 8 p.m. Coming up next after this, we're going to kick it back to Tier 2 in the Bantam Red Division. The Ice Dogs are going to take on the Sabres. We saw the Sabres Tier 1 team. We're going to see their Tier 2 team now take on the Ice Dogs.
Indy looking to see if they can stretch the ice right now, but not really getting anything to work with.
As you alluded to earlier, that was a quick shift there off and on for Johnny Schlegel. I'm sure he's going to come back in as we're now close to within 3.5 minutes. Got to get your best shooters out there. And when does Nolan Dede make his way to the bench and they get that extra skater on?
Keep an eye on him. Keep an eye on his mask, because he's going to be looking over towards the bench to get some indication. Schlegel's interesting right now because even if he's on the bench, you are surely not going to see him sitting down.
Every single time that puck's past the blue line, just more time ticking off with a 2-goal lead. What else could you ask for? Yellowjackets, loose puck in the slot. Once again, we'll get it out. Groove's going to grab this one, I believe, as the Yellowjackets are getting a line change. Have to be quick as Whitlock's past the blue line the other way. Going to his left, but he's double-teamed. He has to slap it behind the net, and no one's really home. Impressive skating across. Owen Trivellini went pretty much around the world to go and provide some good defense there. 2:45 and ticking.
Logan had a great opportunity, but just goes a little bit wide left.
Whalen hasn't had to make a save in the last couple minutes. Owen Trivellini is just all over the place right now and potentially drew a penalty there. Actually, looks like it's going to go against Trivellini potentially. Slap goes in, loose puck in the slot, rebound chance, still loose. And there is the delayed call. Is this the door that's ever so slightly open for the improbable comeback for the Indy Fuel? Owen Trivellini, 2 minutes in the box, only 2:22 left on the scoreboard here.
It's unfortunate that you find Owen Trivellini in the box. He seems a little bit confused, but Owen Trivellini, one of their solid defensemen, he's had great opportunities, and he's in a good position. Not right now, though, finding himself in the box. And it looks like this game's going to close out with a 2-minute penalty.
So before we do that, we will take a quick timeout as the coaching staff of the Yellowjackets want to talk things over for their one time they get. We're going to take a short break here in SBS, but stick with us. We got some more exciting playoff action coming up right after this. Back here in Pleasant Prairie, while the Yellowjackets lead 3-1 over the Indy Fuel with a chance to go to the Bantam Red 1 title game. 2 Yellowjackets find themselves in the box. Give us the lowdown, Steve.
So it's not going to be a 5-on-3. It's looking like it's going to be a 5-minute major, maybe a 10-minute misconduct, but it's Sievers. It's going to be Parker Sievers. And the issue is typically in a situation like this, I have to assume it's arguing with the ref. And keep in mind, it's a zero tolerance policy. This really has nothing to do with anything specific or anything egregious. Even saying, what do you mean, to the referee could result in a game misconduct penalty. And the refs aren't going to lose control of this game like that. Other than that, we've got Trivellini in the box, so it's going to be a real tough penalty kill for the Yellowjackets, losing one of their top defensemen.
Puck loose in the slot on the redirect. Empty netter's gonna go! Oh my goodness!
And I'll eat my words once again. I'm not allowed to talk about the Yellowjackets. They prove me wrong every single time. Looks like that one's from Zajac.
Michael Zajac, just great awareness there. Honestly, if you hadn't asked him, he might say he was just trying to ice it. I think he iced it in a good spot. Would you say so?
He iced it pretty well. Can't argue with that. Great shot, Zajac. Have yourself a day.
Wow. So despite the power play and the Indy Junior Fuel looking like they might try to wear that glass slipper and be the Cinderella at the end with this comeback, the Crystal Lake Yellowjackets now with a 3-goal lead with under 2 minutes remaining. They still have to face this PK. Much less daunting task now with 1 extra goal to cushion the lead.
We're going to have to ask Emily Whalen if her back hurts from carrying this team all the way to the finals.
We mentioned it before, but just to ensure, the Afton Americans, who won the last matchup here over Peoria, Afton will play the winner of this game, which right now, if things hold the way they are, will be the Crystal Lake Yellowjackets tomorrow morning right here at the Green Rink. Whether you come in person to Pleasant Prairie, you're going to stream it live on SBS. We'll be here. Come say hey. Let's have some fun watching some playoff hockey. Fired back out. Back in the net is Nolan Dede. That passed too many lines, so icing call. 1:05 left in regulation.
Howell back out on the ice. Grube, Boone. Welsh.
Flicked out near the blue line.
Closing
Indy
out
just
his
trying to get some other goal in the net, but nothing's getting by the defense. And of course, the cornerstone, Emily Whalen.
Barwig, Zajac, Weissman. You've got your top line out there. You're just trying to kill this penalty. You've got 39 seconds to do it, and then you might find yourself waking up for the 10-20 start tomorrow.
Back near the point, Grube's going to fire. Little weakly hit because Zajac was there. Now Zajac wants it up ahead, but a little too excited with it, perhaps. Tomaszewski, eyes a little bit bigger than his hockey stick.
Just a little off target, going after his own bench. And it certainly sounds like a rattling sound for Trivellini and Sievers in the box.
That puck hits the net. Clock stops 21 seconds flat. So it's going to be the number 4 seeded Afton Americans and the number 2 seeded Crystal Lake Yellowjackets. Both maybe games that we didn't expect those results to happen. I mean, certainly the Afton game scoring 4 unanswered in the third. But the Yellowjackets, after struggling earlier today with the Falcons, come out. Maybe that nap in the midday did them right. They came out looking refreshed and took care of business.
They came out ready to play, and none more so than Emily Whalen. We can talk about Connor Barwig and his 2 goals for the night. A phenomenal performance. Great performance from him. Reed Williams opening up the scoring. And then Zajac with the empty netter as the cherry on top, but it's Emily Whalen. It's that goaltender. You really can't falter. Just a great performance. Emily Whalen, have yourself a day, and you get one more. Try it again tomorrow.
And the celebration is on for now, but they're going to cut it short because they know the important game will be tomorrow against the Afton Americans, 10:20 a.m. We hope to see you here not only for that, but for the 2 more games we have in this Octothon. I'm making up words. It's not really working. our hockey playoff marathon here on Sports Broadcast Solutions. For now, we're going to watch these two teams shake hands. Final thoughts, Steve. I mean, we were talking about the Yellowjackets so much, but what a year for Indy, coming all this way. CSDHL action. I mean, you have great teams all over the board, but you got to give credit to the Fuel, especially for those first two playoff performances they had.
Absolutely. The Fuel had a great start to this playoff, and it's a rough finish. But again, this is not a one-sided affair. 4-1 almost doesn't really show what kind of game this really was. 3-1 might not even show what kind of game this really was. The Indy Fuel, great season. Hold your head up high. We'll see you next time. But for the Yellowjackets, Emily Whalen, that's the storyline.
That will wrap us up here for SBS, for this game at least. We have two more games, so stick with us on the channel if you want to see that. But for now, before we see you over there, for Yoon Cho, Dan Pfeiffer, Steve Taylor, my name's Andy Diedrich. We will see you next time on Sports Broadcast Solutions.